back to our channel. Today's video is a little bit different than what I normally do. It's a little bit more of a serious topic, and it's just something different that I don't normally talk about, so we're just kind of gonna see how it goes. Before I get into it, I just want to put a little disclaimer here at the beginning that one, I am not a medical professional in any way. I'm not a professional on this topic at all. I probably don't even know half of what I'm talking about while I'm talking about this. I'm just saying my experience and my story with it and what I know about it so far. So please don't take any medical advice from me. I'm not giving any advice. I'm not telling you what to do. Please do all of your own research on this as well. And if you want to speak to your doctor about it, if you think you have it, or if you feel like you're having these problems, talk to your doctor. I'm not a professional. I don't know 100% everything about this topic, so please don't take my word for any of this, okay? Also, another disclaimer is that this may be a trigger for some people, so if you guys are sensitive to any postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, any stories about it, anything like that, you may not want to watch this video. So please click out if you feel like this is something that could trigger you, or you could watch this with someone who you feel safe with. I want to make sure you guys know this may cause some triggers because I am going to talk about my experience. So I am going to be explaining it and going into details as well. So I'll make sure to put trigger warning, like graphics and stuff, before I talk about anything serious. So if you do want to watch at least the beginning and then just skip when I talk about it, you could do that as well. Really quickly, I do also want to add in here that this video I filmed once already, and it didn't feel right. I kind of rushed the video, and also if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I was kind of in my head a lot the past few days, and I was just getting really overwhelmed and frustrated with anxiety and just a lot of feelings I was having basically. And so that video just didn't seem right to me, and I felt the need to re-record it, hence why I'm recording it now. But yeah, that's why this video didn't come out last Thursday like it originally was going to. So I am sorry about that, but I just needed to step back, take a little break, do some things for myself. I did a few things the other day that made me happy and that were for myself, so I do feel better today. I feel up for making this video, and so here we are. Okay, finally, what you guys are here for. Today we are going to be talking about the one thing that no one talks about at all, because I for sure never heard anyone talk about this. I've never seen a video on YouTube about this. There might be, but at least the YouTubers that I watch, and when I searched it as well, there wasn't a lot I could find on this specific topic of postpartum anxiety. I know a lot of you guys have most likely heard of postpartum depression, and that one is really common. A lot of women have postpartum depression, know someone with postpartum depression, and a lot of people at least know what it is. And when I was pregnant, I looked into postpartum depression like so crazily, like I was obsessed with it almost, that I would watch videos, read articles, just look up as much as I could about postpartum depression, like what it was, how to prevent it, what were the causes of it, different ways to cope with it, all of that. I looked into it, and I feel like for myself, the way that my mind works, knowing all that information is what helped me not get postpartum depression. That's just the way that my mind is. I'm not saying that if you're pregnant right now and you do all this research and you know every single thing about postpartum depression that you're not going to get it. I can't say that because that's just my mind. That's how it kind of worked for me in my head. That's what I was looking up the whole time I was pregnant. And so after I had him, I was really confused because of all the feelings I had. They were nothing like what I heard about postpartum depression. And so I started looking into it more and like wondering why I was having all these big feelings, and it turns out that it was postpartum anxiety that I was having. And I didn't know this for a while, so I kind of had all these feelings for the first few months postpartum without even knowing what was going on. I just kind of thought I was crazy, which I feel like a lot of women go through this because nobody talks about it, like I said. Basically, the feelings that I had, here's your trigger warning. I'm gonna get into some details here, so if you want to skip forward a little bit or get out of the video now, that's fine. But trigger warning, here's some pretty in detail explanations of what I went through, so here's your chance. Okay, let's go. So after having him, I had a lot of strong feelings of anxiety, being anxious, being worried. I know a lot of people told me that I wasn't going to get sleep because he was going to be crying all night, he was going to be waking up all night, feeding all night because I was breastfeeding, and I was prepared for all of that. But what I wasn't prepared for was to be up all night with a sleeping baby because I was watching him breathe. I was so anxious about SIDS that I literally wouldn't get any sleep because I was just watching him. I would make sure his chest was moving up and down. If I didn't see his chest or his stomach moving, I would put my finger under his nose and make sure I felt breaths. Sometimes I would even wake him up, which is really bad. You're not supposed to wake up a waking baby. Wake up a waking baby. You're not supposed to wake up a sleeping baby. And sometimes if I felt like he wasn't breathing, I would gently, like, you know, hey, you okay? And he'd wake up, obviously. But I was just so terrified that I barely ever got any sleep. Also, we bed shared. Don't want any comments about that. That's a whole nother topic, so don't comment about that. But we bed shared, and so I was constantly worried about like rolling over on him, even though I don't roll over when I sleep. And also I was just worried about, like, you know, him suffocating, you know, the normal. Yeah, I was constantly anxious at nights, but it wasn't only at nights. That's the thing with postpartum anxiety, is you're always anxious, you're always worried, you're always on edge. It's something that just doesn't go away because it's night or day. So at night I'd be worried about SIDS and him breathing and him waking up. And during the day, if we were home, I was kind of less on edge. But if we were going out, let's say for a drive in the car, the entire car ride, I'd be so anxious about what if someone crashed into us? What if we got in this accident and I have the baby with me? What if all these crazy thoughts just going in my head the whole time that I'm driving somewhere? And I really didn't want to drive anywhere just because I had those thoughts. And it was really scary to have those thoughts while you have a new baby in the car, while you're a first-time mom. It's something you really don't want to go through because it makes you not want to go anywhere. And when I would go places like, let's say, Target, I would constantly grip onto the stroller because I was scared that somebody would come up to me and grab the stroller and take him away. Like, I would go as far as putting the brake on every time I would stop, so that if somebody would try to come, they wouldn't be able to move the car seat, you know? And also, when we went to Disney World, I bought this little, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a little thing that like connects to your wrist and then connects onto the stroller, so that if the stroller were to like go away, it would pull and stay on my wrist, you know? Yeah, that was one thing I was super anxious about, always on edge, always wondering what if. And I kind of felt crazy for a little bit, like, why was I always feeling these things? I knew it wasn't normal. I knew it wasn't postpartum depression because I wasn't feeling sadness, I wasn't feeling anger, I wasn't feeling frustrated. It was none of those hormonal feelings that they talk about with postpartum depression. It was just anxiety and worry and the feeling of being on edge all the time. So yeah, it really made me feel not normal and crazy, and I don't know, I felt like a bad mom for feeling all these and always worrying and wondering if these things were going to happen. Like, why am I thinking of these crazy scenarios that could happen? And I just feel like that's not talked about enough. I did 2 polls, one on Facebook and one on Instagram, with moms to see if anyone knew what postpartum anxiety was and if anyone had it. And the results were a little shocking, but honestly I wasn't too shocked because I knew for myself that it's not talked about a lot, and most people only hear about postpartum depression. So the 2 polls that I made, the one on Facebook, a total of 27 girls, and out of the 27 girls, 23 of them answered, no, I don't know what it is, therefore don't know if I had/have it. That's 23 out of 27. That's a lot of girls that don't know. And not even just girls, moms, people who have kids, people who have gone through the experience of having a baby. 23 out of 27 don't know what postpartum anxiety is. Out of those 27, 3 of them did know what it was, but they didn't have it. And 1 of them did know what it was and did have it, along with postpartum depression. So that kind of just shows you that moms don't know what this is. Women don't know about postpartum anxiety. And the one on Instagram shows the exact same. So on Instagram I asked, do you know what PPA is? 81% said no, and only 19% said yes. Then I asked, did you or do you have postpartum anxiety? 90% said no, but keep in mind that 81% said no, they don't know what it is. So out of that 90%, there may be people who had it or have it and they just don't know what it is, so they can't answer yes. 10% did answer yes. And then I just put up if anyone had questions about postpartum anxiety, and I had so many people just ask me, what is it? What is postpartum anxiety? Because I don't know what it is. Tell me, because I want to know. That was the only question I got, because so many people don't know what postpartum anxiety is. So basically I made this video just because if you have postpartum anxiety or you are having these feelings, I just want you to know that you are not alone. You are not crazy. You do not have postpartum depression unless you have both together, then maybe, you know, but you just have postpartum anxiety and it's normal. Or maybe you had postpartum anxiety and you didn't know and now you do from this. If you are one of those people, please comment down below so that we can chat about it. Let me know that you had no idea what it was and now you do, and that you have it or you've had it before, and because of this video is how you found out. Also, if you have it very extreme, I feel like mine kind of sounds extreme, but to me it wasn't that extreme. So I didn't seek any help for it because I didn't feel that it was that bad. But if you feel that it is bad or it is extreme, please tell your doctor that you think you have postpartum anxiety, or tell your therapist if you have one, whoever, even just your spouse or your mom or your best friend. Just tell someone if you feel like it is extreme. Please reach out. Your mental health is so important. I cannot stress that enough. So if you do feel that you need help with postpartum anxiety and coping with it, please tell somebody. If you're nervous or embarrassed to tell anybody, you can message me on Instagram. I always leave my link down below, and I will keep it private. I will not be telling everyone your business, but just you can message me to ask me how I coped with it or different things, or just so I can help you realize the reality of things, or even just listen. Sometimes all you need is someone to listen to you, and it helps so much. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys want me to talk more about things like this, like mental health or postpartum, please let me know as well down below in the comments. I do like talking about this. Again, I don't know everything, I'm not a professional, but I do like talking about mental health and postpartum, so please feel free to ask me. If you have any video requests, let me know in the comments. And that's it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back.